You worked with prominent dailies like the Hindu and the Indian Express. You're currently the entertainment editor with MS in India.
I used to be. I'm now the consultant.
Okay, right. But you're seriously involved with the media and a journalist. What is your take on the current media? Do you think the media should exercise more responsibility and maturity in the way it
Yeah, of course.
operates?
It has been like that always. Now, the biggest problem facing media is its own proliferation.
Okay.
That's what I think. There are more media houses than there are people. So, media is always in search of news, and people always want to be in news. So this will create I think this will create an unholy nexus between fame seekers and media, and which will result in a complete loss of accuracy and credibility. That's what I think.
Okay, is that happening? You see that happening?
Yeah, it's happening. It has started happening.
Your interests are diverse. You sing, you act, you write. So how difficult is this managing this varied portfolio?
I give my best to whatever I'm offered. That is my only criterion while selecting my different garbs, as you said. When I act, I give my best. When I write, I give my best. And when I sing, I'm like a kid who tries to give his best.
Would you describe yourself as a loner?
I can. That's all.
Why? Why did you say you can?
No, it's a question. It's an introspective question. I have to have great introspection to actually answer that.
But aren't you introspective by nature?
I am both introspective and I'm not actually sure about my the kind of person I am.
Okay.
Because sometimes I'm an extrovert, and sometimes I think I'm introspective and a great introvert. So I am at a loss of words when it comes to describing myself. There are moments when I think I'm a loner. That's all.
Okay. What are your political leanings?
I think a creative person should always keep a basic distance between ideologies.
Why?
And him, because I don't think there should be a political stance for a creative artist. There should be an equidistance.
Okay.
There should be some kind of a non-alignment within him, so that he can always observe. His interference, his artistic or his creative interference should come from his what I will say, learned detachment.
Okay. Were you involved in student politics?
I have always been a great observer. I have never been involved directly.
Okay. You spoke about your father. What are the biggest qualities that you admire in him?
His focus towards what he did creatively. As an actor, he was complete. He was near complete. No man can be totally complete, perfect. I mean, he was near perfect. No one can be perfect.
Okay.
And as I said, I consider him the best actor ever.
Okay.
To have graced cinema. And his greatest quality, I think, was his focus towards what he did on screen or outside it.
Okay. What are some of the traits you think you have inherited from him?
I think I would be the wrong person to answer that.
What do you think?
No, I'm so much in awe of. I'm so much in awe of my father that I consider myself very inferior to him.
You talked about focus being his strongest quality. What about you? Do you think it's important to be focused?
Yeah, it's absolutely important to be focused in whatever you do.
Okay.
If I have imbibed anything from my father, I think it is the will to focus on something you do.
Okay.
I always try my best with the things I do.
Okay.
And I always make it a point that I am focused in whatever creative things
But do you get drawn into different things? Say you lose interest fast, and does that happen to you? Or
I always consider myself a student.
okay.
So it is always a learning experience. Anything that you do, it's always a learning experience for me, and I try to give my best to whatever I do.
Okay. Would you tell us a bit about your mother?
Yeah, she's one of the strongest characters I have ever come across in my life.
Okay.
She has always been a pillar of strength. When my father went down after he was affected by a paralytic stroke, she was our. I always compare her with the legendary Nargis Dutt character in Mother India.
Okay.
She used to be. She used to be and still is our pillar of strength.
Okay. Are your children artistically inclined?
They are in their own way, their own sweet way.
Okay. Will you tell us a little bit about your upcoming projects?
I'm acting in. I've just finished doing Lal Jose's Edu Sundari Ratri. Then comes Naku Penta Naku Taka, which is a Swahili name, which means I love you, I want you, and it's a thriller which bases itself in Kenya.
Okay.
So I do a guest appearance in that movie, and I play a Sinhalese character, a Sinhalese hitman, who is called Anton Kulasingam. In Edu Sundari Ratri, I play a boxer, and then comes 1 by 2.
Okay.
Arun Kumar Aravin's 1 by 2, and it's a psychological thriller, and I play all sorts of diverse characters in these films.
Okay. Thank you for being on Rose Bowl. It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.